Good evening, crafting friends. This is Dorene Decibus from It Begins with Ink and Paper, and welcome to day 11 of the 12 days of Halloween. Tonight we are making a fun treat using a test tube, and I'm so excited about this particular project tonight because it is one that I'm actually going to be making with my advisory tomorrow because being a science teacher and using a test tube, it's just going to make it so much fun for them. So this is what the test tube looks like. I'm going to be filling it with candy corn. I've already put some in. It's a flat bottom test tube, so it's really perfect for this project because we're going to make a little test tube holder. And it has a screw on top, so you can have a place to put your candies in. And even with a small brush, you can wash these treat holders. So like I said, I'm a science teacher and I'm just, pretty excited that I'm going to share this with you tonight. So let me just first cut away. I bought some of the Brock candy mini packages, and it takes 2 packages to fill the test tube. So it doesn't, hold a ton of candy, but enough to fill it up. And I think I can get one more in, and even a little left over. So we got that in. Oh, can I get the last one in? Let's see. Yes, I can. So that fills it right to the top. So this is our candy treat that we'll be using. And what we're making tonight is a test tube holder. So it will stand up like this. This is the one I designed to make with my advisory. So it has the test tube full of candy, and it has a hole for the candy to fit in and stand. And in this case, it has a cute little pumpkin. And I actually used, when I punched out the circle, I used the circle to stamp my greeting. But like I said, this is the design I'm using with my students. I'm going to make a little bit of a different design with you tonight. This would be more for me to give to a colleague or a neighbor or something like that. So let me get out my cheat sheet. And as I said, I say in all my videos, I will post the dimensions in the comments after the video posts, and I will have that there for this as well. So you're going to need a sheet of 2 by 11 cardstock. I'm using the thick Very Vanilla just to give it a little bit more strength so it can hold the test tube. And I scored it at 5.5 inches, 6 3/4 inches, 8 3/4 inches, and 10. So that is the first thing you're going to need. I'm going to need an early espresso piece of cardstock that I'm just going to use to punch the stem. And I'm going to need just a scrap of Very Vanilla that I'm going to be using to stamp the label and punch out my pumpkin. Thank you. And then I'm just using this designer series paper. I'm using this because it's just some great patterned paper that I can use that will be I'm going to say adult friendly. So let's put this together first. So the first thing I'm going to do is just fold it over at the 5.5 inch mark. And I'm going to score that. And then, this is the part that we're going to be putting it all together. So then I'm going to fold my next score line, and then finally the last score line. So this is the place where I need to punch a circle out, and I have a 1 1/4 inch circle punch that I'm just going to put right. It just fits, so I'm just going to punch that out. So that's good to go. Now I'm going to be adding my designer series paper. So this is going to be coming up like this. So the longer piece of designer series paper is going to go on the inside. So I'm just going to use some Stampin' Seal to put this right up the back side. Has a little bit of vanilla in the design, so it goes really nicely with the vanilla cardstock. So there we go. And then I am going to be putting this piece right on the front. So I'm going to add that. I think first what I'll do is I'm just going to add this to the front. So I just have a contrasting piece of paper. And I should be telling you these measurements. Sorry about that. The first piece that I put on was 5 1/4 by 1 3/4. This one is 1 3/4 by 1 3/4, and this is 1 3/4 by 1 inch. So this is just going to go right in the center, like that, and then this is going to go on this piece of cardstock right here. There we go. Now I'm going to be putting some adhesive here. You could use tear and tape, but I'm just going to use a lot of the Stampin' Seal. So how this is going to work, it's going to stand up like this, and then this panel that I put the adhesive on is going to go against the back. And I want it so it's going to stand up straight and be even. I want this to be a nice even rectangle here. Just going to adhere that in place, and there we go. So now my test tube can go right in here. So that part is all done and ready. What I am going to do is make a little twine bow around, which I'm not doing with my students. We're going to make this tomorrow, but we're not going to put the twine bow. I have a feeling that the candy corns are not going to last very long. So that's why I am okay tying. I need a little bit more. Let's take that one more step. Okay. So I just wrapped some of the linen thread around this. I am going to knot it and then tie my bow. I find it when I'm using something as fine as the linen thread, that knotting it just helps me make my bow. Just keeps it so I don't have to worry about holding all the pieces in place. And then I can just let's untie this. I think I made a little bit of a mess here. I kind of pulled apart the layers. Let's try this again. Just going to make our little bow. It's the part that I dread the most on my lives, is tying a bow. Okay, now let's see if we can make this a little smaller. And I think we'll just leave it at that. And I'll go back and make it nicer later. But there we go with our little bow. Okay, so next is I am going to be stamping my pumpkin in pumpkin pie. And I'm also going to do my greeting in pumpkin pie. So on the punch, I just want to make sure I stamp it the way it's going to be punched. There we go. So I can just put this in and punch it out. And then I'm going to stamp my Happy Halloween. down here. So that is, let me see, I think I'm going to do that again. I think there was a little black ink left on it. So let's just stamp it right here. Maybe we'll try it one more time over here. There we go. Perfect. So the only other thing I want to do is punch out a stem out of early Espresso ink. I'm going to add just a little bit of the liquid glue, and let me just add that, give it a second to dry. So again, thank you for joining me tonight on the second to last day of the 12 days of Halloween. I have had a lot of fun presenting these projects to you, and I hope you've enjoyed them as well. So now I'm just going to add my Happy Halloween up here at the top. I'm going to have it kind of stick off a little bit. So there we go. And then I'm going to use some dimensionals on my pumpkin. And this is our finished project. So we have the test tube full of candy corn, kind of matches the color of the paper in the background. And we have the greeting, and then we have a pumpkin right in the front. Let me just turn this so that you can see it, the whole thing. And then it stands like this, so it can stand on someone's desk. So tomorrow night is our last night of the 12 days of Halloween, and we're going out with a bang. We're going to make a home decor item, and it is going to be a lot of fun. So don't forget to join me tomorrow night for the last night, because it's going to be a good one. And thank you for joining me tonight. If you're watching on the live, the replay, or on my YouTube channel, please say hello. Tell me what you think about the project. And I will see you tomorrow night at 8 o'clock for the last day of the 12 days of Halloween. Good night, everyone.